Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about building Android apps. Now, I know it can sound super complicated, right? Like something only tech wizards in a dark room can do. But trust me, it's not. We're going to break it all down into a really simple, step-by-step journey. So let's just jump right in. So for this explainer, we're leaning on a fantastic guide, Android Application Development for Dummies. And honestly, it's the perfect companion for this. It takes all that super dense technical stuff, we're talking thousands of pages of documentation, and just boils it down into something anyone can use to get started. Think of it as a launchpad for your future as an Android developer. You've been there, right? You're scrolling on your phone and suddenly this amazing idea hits you. Man, there should totally be an app for this. But then where do you even begin? That path from just an idea to something real feels, well, foggy, to say the least. That's exactly what we're here for. We're going to clear up that fog and show you the first steps forward. Okay, so first things first, why even bother with Android? There are other options out there. What's the big deal? Well, let's get into it, because the sheer scale of the opportunity here, it's pretty mind-blowing. Just take a second and let this number sink in. Over 1 billion Android devices. And get this, our source points out that over 1 million more are being activated every single day. So if you're a developer, you're not just building for a platform, you're building for a massive global audience. And the reasons to choose Android are pretty compelling. First, that huge market share. I mean, more Android devices are out there than all the other mobile operating systems combined. It's wild. Plus, you can get your app out to people fast, since there isn't some super long, drawn-out approval process. It's also an open platform, which means any company can make Android devices, and that just keeps the whole ecosystem growing. And maybe the coolest part? You're not just making an app for a phone. Honestly, the source material just nails it with this question. When you've got a gigantic audience, you can publish your app quickly, and the whole platform is open and flexible. It kind of makes you think, yeah, why wouldn't you develop for Android? All right, so that's the why. Now let's get into the what. We're going to look at the basic building blocks of any Android app. And don't worry, I promise we're going to skip the super technical jargon and put this in plain English. Okay, first up is something called an activity. The easiest way to wrap your head around this is to just think of it as a single screen in your app. So you open your email app, right? The list of emails you see, that's one activity. Then you tap on an email to open it, boom, you're now on a different activity. Simple as that. It's basically the main frame for what the user sees. But you might be thinking, what about a bigger screen, like a tablet? Yeah, on a phone, one screen at a time is fine. But on a big tablet screen, just showing a list of emails would waste a ton of space and look kind of silly. Well, Android has a really smart way of dealing with this. And that clever solution is called a fragment. If an activity is a page, think of a fragment as a mini page. It's a little piece of the user interface that you can mix and match. You can stick a bunch of these fragments onto a single activity. They're like Lego bricks for your app's layout, letting you build really cool, flexible designs, especially for those bigger screens. So let's see how that plays out. Back to our email app. On your phone, you get one screen at a time, your inbox. On a tablet, though, you can use 2 fragments inside one activity. You've got the list of emails on the left, and when you tap one, the actual email content shows up on the right. Both visible at the same time. See? That's the secret to making an app look good no matter what size screen it's on. Okay, the last big piece of this puzzle is something called an intent. This is basically the glue that lets everything in the Android world talk to each other. Think of it like sending a request. You're in your photo gallery and you hit share. Your phone sends out a share intent, like a little message. The system then looks around and says, hey, who can handle this? And pulls up all your apps that can share stuff. Email, social media, whatever. It's how apps, even totally different ones, work together. Okay, so we've got the why and the basic what. Now for the fun part, the how. What does the actual path look like? How do you go from a blinking cursor on a blank screen to having your app live on the Google Play Store?
And the best news? It's not some crazy, confusing maze. It's really just a simple 4-step journey from start to finish.
So here's the roadmap. Step 1, setup. You just install the tools you need, Android Studio and the Java Development Kit. And by the way, they're totally free. Step 2, build. This is where the magic happens. You design your interface, you write the code that makes it all work. Step 3, package. You wrap it all up, digitally sign it, which is like putting your official stamp on it, and create the final file. And step 4, publish. You make a developer profile, upload your app, and share it with the world. Oh, and here's a huge thing that stops a lot of people. You might be thinking, do I need to go buy a bunch of Android phones? Nope.
You don't even need a physical device to start. The free tools come with something called an emulator. It's basically a virtual Android phone that runs right on your computer. You can build and test everything on it. Seriously, the barrier to entry is practically zero.
So you've got the basics down. You see the path through the Play Store. But here's where it gets really exciting. The skills you're picking up aren't just for making phone apps. Not even close. The world of Android is way bigger than you think.
One of the most important things to get from our source material is that Android is device independent. What that really means is that those core skills you learn, working with activities, fragments, and intents, they aren't just for phones. You can use them across a whole ecosystem of different gadgets.
And I mean a huge ecosystem. We're talking smartwatches on your wrist, TVs in your living room, the dashboard in your car, even ebook readers. The same code, the same concepts can power all of them. So you're not just learning how to make a phone app, you're learning a language that a whole world of technology understands.
And this quote really says it all, doesn't it? When you learn to develop for Android, you're not just learning one skill for one job. You're unlocking a massive range of options for what you can create and where your career can go.
So let's wrap this up. What probably seems super complex at the start is really a clear step-by-step process. We've seen just how big the opportunity is, we've broken down the key terms into simple ideas, and we've walked through that 4-step path from your brain to a real live app. So I'll leave you with this question. You have the roadmap now, you know the basic language, the tools don't cost a thing, and there's a billion-plus person audience out there just waiting. The only real question left is, what are you going to build?